Hey guys, I got with the picks. It is Friday early morning. Well, I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving first and foremost. It was a good Thanksgiving. Food was good, family was good. Being around loved ones are always a good thing, especially when you're watching football and they ain't got no idea what's going on and all that good stuff. We had a rough day yesterday. We had two losers and one winner. And it's kind of funny that our two losers were the NFL games and our winner was a college game. Not a good turnout for Thanksgiving, but we got leftovers. So we're coming back today again. Our overall record's 47, 36, and 2. It's 57%. No, no, not happy about that one bit. Let's get to these picks. I'm bringing 3 picks again. First game we're looking at is Arkansas, giving 4 points on the road to Missouri. The total is 56. The Razorbacks, they jumped on Mississippi last game. They held Ole Miss to 27 points. They beat them 42-27. KJ Jefferson, he threw 3 touchdowns on 17 completions. They ran the ball 43 times for 335 yards and 3 more touchdowns. Yeah. The game before that, they held LSU to 13 points, getting to the quarterback 7 times in that game. They look like a whole different defense the past 4 weeks than they did the first 7. A complete different defense. They've only given up 21.5 points per game over the past month. That's a really good number for that conference. I mean, a really good number. Missouri cakewalk last week, 45-14 over New Mexico State. They don't get no stripes or claps. They're supposed to do that. But what I will talk about is what Missouri does feature. They feature a defense that's been rock solid the whole year, except for one game against Tennessee, where Tennessee just took it out on them after they got beat. Hell, they held Georgia to 26 points. They held Florida to 20. And at the time, it was a good Florida team and a good South Carolina team that was ranked at that time too to only 10 points. They're giving up 24 points a game, average on the whole year. Both these teams want to run the hell out of the ball. All they want to do is just run, and then run it more. Missouri 7-3 to the under on the year, and 6-1 to the under in SEC games. That's a big trend. Missouri holds opponents to 33% on third downs. Now, while you're watching that game, remember that stat I just gave you. Missouri holds opponents to 33% on third downs. And Razorbacks, well, they got 14 sacks and 5 takeaways the last 3 games. To say the defense has turned over a new leaf would be an understatement. We got run the ball, make some stops. Missouri keeps this game in range. The pick on this one is take the under 56. This next game, I love all 3 of these games. Information I was able to gather, and a lot of good stuff on this game. A lot of good stuff on this game. We're looking at Tulane at 9-2, going to Cincinnati at 9-2. I want you to listen to what I'm about to say right here. So, Cincinnati is minus 1 point. Okay? Tulane is plus 1 point at minus 110. If we wanted to take Tulane on the money line, a point reversal on the money line, they'd be minus 115 on the money line. Now, either something's wrong with this or they just put up the number wrong, because it's not right. Okay? It's just not right. So, if you're going to play one side, they're forcing you to play one way and not the other. Listen, Cincinnati's two-time defending conference championship, and they've won, like, I don't know, 31, 32, 33 straight home games. I do know Clemson's the only one that has a longer active streak. Hell, Clemson's probably 40, 41, 42 in a row at home. I mean, Cincinnati's got the longest home streak after Clemson. And they had absolutely no problem with Temple last week. There was some problems in that game, but they didn't have no problem with Temple. Bearcats D was on display, full display. You know, they got 4 turnovers in that game. But I will tell you what happened in that game. I might be a hard critic, I don't know. It may be a good thing, it may be a bad thing, but their starting quarterback, Ben Bryant, he left the game with a foot injury, and he didn't come back, obviously. And one of their 2 tight ends that gets targets on the field, Leonard Taylor, didn't play last game either. And they're both questionable for this game. I can't see how possibly either of them don't play. I'd rather have Ben Bryant play. Now you're thinking, and I'm going to take Cincinnati. Tulane's coming off an absolute laying the wood to SMU, 59-24, and that's a high-powered SMU team that's also a good SMU team. It's an SMU team that lost to Cincinnati by only 2 points. Tulane in that game, they had 2 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries and 3 sacks. Tulane's defense is great. Number surprised me, to be honest with you. I mean, very surprised. Michael Pratt, he had 6 total touchdowns last game. 3 with his arm, 3 with his legs. He beat you both ways. I mean, Tulane's a tough team to cover. They got a very talented running back. I mean, very talented. If you haven't seen him yet, Tyjae Spears, he's put up 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. And the biggest thing about him is he averages 6.2 yards per carry. It's crazy. Both these teams, they both lost to UFC. Cincinnati lost to them by 4, and Tulane lost to them by 7. These 2 teams are, like, when you put them side by side, they are so similar on paper. I mean, Tulane averages about 4.8 points more than Cincinnati on the year, and they both give up 19 points a game. 19 points a game in college football is elite defense. I don't even think I know, because I've seen Ben Bryant he's the liability, and it's not because that he's injured. he's a liability when he's on the. I mean, he's so inconsistent. If you guys remember 2 weeks ago when I was in the hospital, Cincinnati played East Carolina. And if you remember, we had East Carolina with the points. And what did we do? We won and covered. And the main reason we won and covered is because this Cincinnati offense came out in the second half against an ECU team that gives up 35 points a game, and they put 3 points up on them the second half. Really? Come on. Tulane 6-0 against the spread their last 6 road games, and they're 6-1 against the spread versus winning teams. And here's the big one: they're 13-3 against the spread their last 16 games. So listen, if any of you have been on Tulane this year, you're making money. You're making damn good money too. Cincinnati is 1-5-1 against the spread their last 7 overall. Listen, I'm taking the better quarterback, I'm taking the better offense, and I'm taking the better defense. I wanted to give Tulane on the money line because it should have been plus 115. But they're forcing us to take Tulane plus the point at minus 110. I was trying to get as much value as I could out of this game. It makes no sense to me at all why the line is like it is, but it is. So we're forced to take Tulane with the point. I don't get it. And here we go. I think this one is wrapped up like a gift, and it's going to jump out of the box. We got Florida going into Florida State. Number 16, Florida State. This line opened at 3.5, and it went to 9.5. The total sitting at 58. And there's every reason in the world why I went to 9.5, but we'll touch on it. Florida looked pretty impressive, beating Texas A&M and South Carolina. They looked impressive in those games too. I mean, they put up good numbers, and then they lose to Vanderbilt, which just completely wiped away everything, huh? And listen how they lost. They lost to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt had 283 total yards. In Florida had 445 yards of offense. Florida was 4 for 15 on third downs. So when it counted the most, what did Florida do? They choked, couldn't produce, couldn't do nothing. They couldn't get it done. Period. They couldn't get it done. And the reason why the line jacked up the way it is, Florida has a whole laundry list of injuries and out. Not playing tonight in the game. I mean, it was just name after name after name after name after name. And especially the wide receiving core. I mean, hell, they got 3 guys that ain't playing tonight that all get targets. I mean, that have produced all year. The arguably their best and biggest wide receiver, Justin Shorter's out. There's 2 others, like I said, that gets targets. Ricky Pearsall, their other good wide receiver. He's questionable. I mean, I can see him falling right in a line with the rest of them. I mean, I don't care if he plays or not, to be honest with you, but now they got to face a Florida State team at home that hasn't beat Florida since 2017. So it's been 4 years since Florida State has taken a win back home. Florida dominated them those years too. Florida State has been absolutely steamrolling their last 4 opponents. I'm talking like none other. They've outscored their opponents in their last 4 games 173 to 39. The question you're asking yourself right now, absolutely. Their defense is all that and some more. All of it. Giving up less than 10 points in the last 4 games. They give up 18 points a game on the year. Jordan Travis, he's going to put a show on tonight on primetime. Last time they had a big primetime game, it was the first game of the year against LSU, and yeah, you know what happened there. Definitely looking to redeem. He's going to do it tonight with his arm and legs, to be honest with you. I mean, they run 3 running backs. Obviously, they got a lead back, but they got 2 other backs that run like horses, too. They're all good. Their defense is giving up 291 yards a game. I don't think Florida gets that many yards in this game. Injured team, a bad defense. Sounds like to me that Florida State brings the rivalry back home with a win tonight in Tallahassee. So the pick is Florida State minus 9.5. So just to recap real quick, we got Florida State minus 9.5. We have Tulane +1 at minus 110. And we have Arkansas, Missouri under 56. Guys, thank you for everything. Thank you for the thumbs up. I apologize for a bad Thanksgiving. I hope I didn't ruin it too much. Hopefully, we're going to make up for it today. And we're going to get it going. Keep on hitting that thumbs up. Keep on sharing. Keep on commenting. I'll keep on bringing you great information with high percentage winners. You already know what I'm going to do, guys, until I get back to you. We're going to get back to getting this cash.